What's up, guys? Been a little bit, not really, it's just whenever we go a few days, I feel like I haven't seen you guys in forever. We've got a lot to cover. We're going to cover a specific topic today, but we have some breaking news. And first, hi, how are you guys? I'm Trooper Steven Montiero, News 6 traffic safety expert, cruising around in the powerful Results One. This is one of our streaming machines that we get to deploy anywhere across Central Florida. And today we're just cruising around. We're going to talk about safe following distance today. What is a safe following distance? How far you should be from a vehicle in front of you. And then for other drivers too, really what you should be doing when you see that extra space. And we're going to talk a little bit about that here in a few for an example. But it's past 9 o'clock and I'm officially allowed to talk about something. Probably not the best way to talk about it here because I can't show you much. However, at 3 o'clock today, I'm going to be joining the News 6 team, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. But official here in Orlando, Waymo, the company in partnership with Google, has arrived here in Orlando. And that got kicked off today at 9 a.m. City of Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer went for a ride. And we are going to share my up-close look of that today at 3 o'clock. So hop on News 6 Plus or whatnot, and you can check that out. Ooh, where are my sunglasses? I'm not feeling too well all of a sudden. All right. Just think for a second. Got a little lightheaded there. All right, so we are eastbound right now on Maitland Boulevard. Normal day. See, why are you in the far left lane? Because we're going to hop east on I-4 here. We're going to talk about safe distance, but we're going to work our way to that. All right. But look at that guy crunting all across all those lanes of traffic there. Wow. Didn't even get started there, and we already have our first clown. But what we are measuring today, I mean, that's what we're going to do, is we're going to take a little bit of measure, because I am adamant about always a safe buffer zone between your vehicle and any other vehicle out on the road. Heck, if you listen to me in the morning, what do I say all the time? I go, keep a safe distance between you and the vehicle in front of you so we don't, have a crash or a secondary crash. Because we tend to see a lot of the following too closely when we're in that kind of bumper-to-bumper traffic. But I want to use some big vehicles as an example, some little vehicles, and then we're going to show, we'll probably spot a few that are following too closely. And I'm going to speak a little louder than I normally do because we're going to maintain highway speeds for this. And when we exit, I'll even show you some of the local speeds. But we're going to use this front camera as a little bit of a reference of how we should be following each other. One example of how close you should not be following someone is this right here. This semi-truck. I'm looking through my rearview mirror at the moment, and what you can see is not what I can see. I cannot see the front tires of this vehicle. It's probably less than a car length following me right now, and we're cruising at 65 miles an hour. I'm going to move out of the right lane because I know this is going to exit to Altamont. And that guy's just following a little too closely for me this morning. So let's talk about what is following too closely. I have a measure that I have whenever you come to a complete stop. All right? Coming to a complete stop, why should you be keeping a distance? Well, what happens if you're impacted from behind? What happens if you need to maneuver yourself away out of that stop position? And that's why we keep that safe following distance. So Florida safety, the kind of safety handbook, I'm going to switch cameras up, is focused predominantly on time rather than distance, an actual measured distance. Does that make sense? Because it's close to impossible for us to measure right now. I'm 5 car lengths from the vehicle in front of me. Common safe practice is 3 Central Floridas. I'm using Central Floridas because we ain't in Mississippi. So 1 Central Florida, 2 Central Florida, 3 Central Florida. That's how much of a distance should be you and the vehicle, in theory, in front of you. So for example, here we're cruising. We're going to use that speed sign, the 60 up ahead, as a reference. Vehicle in front of me hits it. 1 Central Florida, 2 Central Florida, 3 Central Florida, and we hit it. So this, between me and the Subaru in front of me right now at 64 miles an hour, is a safe travel distance. If this vehicle was to suddenly lock up its brakes, maneuver out, as long as I am paying attention, should be able to react properly. If it moved out of the way because there was trash in the road, at a 3 Central Florida distance, 3-second distance, as long as I'm paying attention, I should be able to react. Now, can I pass the vehicle? Of course. If I'm starting to gain on the vehicle in front of me, like I am right now, to me, this is a little too close. For some of you, you might be fine. We're way too close. I'm going to move into the center travel lane and go from there. This is what I want to talk about. As we go over 434 here, you're going to see vehicles begin to enter into the highway. Just because there is space between you and another vehicle, or just because there is space between the cars that you're trying to merge in, does not mean that spot is for you. Who does this happen all the time to? My semi-truck drivers. My brothers and sisters, I'm on your side on this one, all right? You're cruising in slow traffic. Everyone's right up on each other, but that center travel lane as a semi-truck has a big distance, and people are like diving, literally bombing into that center travel lane so that they can move up a little further space. I'm here to tell you that space is not for you. It's not for you to move into. What you are contributing to is such a delay in traffic behind that you're not even seeing. You're slowing that semi-truck almost to a stop by taking up the space it's choosing to have so it doesn't hit you. Help me make that make sense, right? So for here, look at this. 2 semi-trucks, right travel lane in front of me here, both traveling at the same speed. Look at the distance that they are putting between each other. Huge, huge distance between the vehicle out there. The driver next to me, love autonomy, guys. The Tesla right here, no hands on the steering wheel and it's driving itself. Kind of obsessed with that. But that brings me to a point I wanted to make a little while, I thought about. So yesterday, I was operating within an autonomous vehicle, and I noticed that no matter the speed, it did maintain a rather large space between the vehicle in front of it all the time. Once we started moving, whether it was at 20 miles an hour or 45, it maintained a certain speed, and I was curious whether or not that could be adjusted, and it can, because the computer software is preparing itself for what could happen, just like you should be preparing yourself. So, well, there's nothing happening, something can happen. I have investigated probably over 1,000 crashes in my time. 80% of them are what we call careless driving crashes, where a driver impacts the vehicle in front of them because they were what? Following too closely, or the vehicle stopped in front of them abruptly and they weren't paying attention. That's why Florida law does not have an actual numerical distance in it. It talks about maintaining a safe and prudent distance from you and the other vehicle so that you may react accordingly, so that you don't impact them. The number one thing people would say to me, Trooper, the car in front of me just stopped and I hit it. Right. And you didn't, because you were following too close. I'm not out here working 16 different crashes, just one. That vehicle didn't hit the car in front. You hit it. So maintaining that safe distance. For demonstration purposes, let me show you something. I'm chilling here in the right travel lane and I am close enough to where I'm on edge, like this vehicle in front of me, this at this speed is, you should feel how awkwardly close you are. It should feel uncomfortable. And if you feel that you're that close, guess what that driver feels? That driver is now nervous. That driver's watching you. That driver's not sure if you're doing it intentionally or aggressive. Things to maintain. So let's practice it again, right? We practice the 3-second rule, the 3 Central Florida rule. So we're here, vehicle hits it, 1 Central Florida, 2 Central Florida, 3 Central Florida. This is a good safe following distance. What I want to do now is we're going to exit off to a local road here, and I want to show you the practice of following too closely on local streets. And when you come to a stop, what visual cue you should have to know, hey, I'm keeping a safe distance. And it's something I learned. I'm going to believe this or not. Believe it or not. Wow, guys, look at this car flying. Coming up behind me. Look at this guy. Cruising. In and out of traffic. No turning signal. It's always a BMW driver. Give him a clown, Kathleen. In and out. That is following too closely. Beamer is so far up that other driver's behind, you would have thought they may have shared some sheets. Like, come on. No one's making each other breakfast out here. We all keep our personal space. Unbelievable. And you guys say, oh, everyone drives just fine. Steve, you just make this stuff up. You see that? I didn't make it up. I didn't call them and say drive like a weirdo. So let's talk the last part of this. It's not all about highway safety, guys. I mean highway driving in a following distance. How often do you pull up on a red light or a stop sign, or you're in traffic, and you look at that rear view mirror? And when you look in that rear view mirror, you could barely see the front of the car in front of you. That's not okay. A driver should be able to look behind and see your front headlights. And as a driver, when you come to a complete stop, you should be able to see the tires of the vehicle in front of you. Does that make sense? I'm going to give you a visual of exactly what I'm talking about here in about 30 seconds. So when traffic does come to a complete stop, as a driver, you should be keeping a distance in front of you that is a visual cue. And I'm going to show you this visual cue right now. So as we come to a stop, the rear tires, you should always be able to see when coming to a stop. So the front of our vehicle lines up. What can I see? I can see the rear tires of this Nissan pickup truck. If I needed to move out of the way for something, I can still move, right, left or right. But once I come here, someone could walk in between us, and I want to make that clear to you guys. But I'm not going anywhere. If we're struck from a high impact from behind, where is the front of my car going? It's hitting this guy, this gentleman right here in front of me. So having that safe distance is not just when you're moving, but it's when you come to a complete stop as well. So right now, this would be considered too close. I want you to be able to see the rear tires of a vehicle when you're coming to a stop. And what I always have to add in personal safety, personal protection. Why do I do that? Listen, guys, when I was a full-time trooper in the car, let's be real. As law enforcement, unfortunately, we're a target sometimes. Or I have to respond in an emergency way. So that emergency is not only for you, but for us too. Think about it. How do I get out of traffic? If someone approaches your car that you don't know, you want to be able to maneuver yourself out from that dangerous situation. Anywhere, anyone, anytime. It can happen to any of us. I don't care if you live in Winter Park, Pine Hills, Kissimmee, or Lake Mary. You should be able to keep a safe distance between you and other objects so that you can react properly. Whether it's trash in the road, cars coming to a stop, or you at already a complete stop and having to maneuver away from something. I hope that makes some type of sense. Following too closely leads to crashes, leads to aggressive driving, and a lot of road rage. Maintaining that distance not only should be applied out here on the road, but maybe in the grocery store too. Some of y'all standing too close to me. But you get what I'm saying. It's about coming out here, having the mindset that you're not out here alone. You gotta keep a nice little 3-second distance when traveling with vehicles in front of you. And maybe, just maybe, we can eliminate some of the crashes. Question that I know I wanted to answer: is following too closely a citable violation? Yes, it is. And it's all under the discretion of the law enforcement officer. So if a police officer believes that you are following too closely, you can be cited for a moving violation, over $160, 3 points on your driver's license. Not something that you want. And they all contribute. My top of my nose is itching like crazy. And yeah, it drives me crazy when I see people following me too close. Don't be a brake checker. It's not nice. So guys, love you. Drive safely. Keep your distance all the time. And tune in. Head to clickorlando.com and check out the Waymo story. Pretty cool stuff. I think we're going to do some more stuff with Waymo. Hop in there, maybe do a little podcasting. Who knows? I love you guys. I'll see you later.